Well, hello, good morning again. Saturday. Please remember that I'm doing this for the people of the United States of America. The information that I'm providing to you is for your information and yours only, to do with what you wish, to disseminate it to others. Here you have a piece of land. This side over here, I'm showing you, is a cemetery. It's been expanded to this area. This is new. Okay, yes, they needed more room for the cancer patients that eat the strawberries. And now they have a school across the street. It's brand new. They got some kind of contraption up on the roof up here. Who knows what that is? Some kind of spy gadget. You know, they got all the kids out here in this brand new school. I'm all the way across the street on the other side, so I'm not at the school. So there, all of you trolls that want me in jail. This is for my subscribers, though. I don't, whatever you do is on you. But for my subscribers, I'd like you to know that they're planting more strawberries or vegetables of some sort over here. Here's the coffins that go under the ground with the bodies, dead bodies from the COVID patients right here. No, whoever goes in there. The coffin goes in there after they bury these things in the ground. And there's the school, so the kids can look right over here and see that nice cemetery. And then they can, when the wind blows and all these pesticides that they have underneath those things over there, blow into the schoolyard while your kids are playing right over here in the schoolyard. It's right here. There's where they play every day, right there. And I don't care about your kids, right? I'm over there trying to film them and screw with them. No, you're wrong. I'm trying to show you what's going on here. They're planting vegetables with pesticides and Roundup that kills and gives cancer right next to your school where your kids are, right next to your restaurants where your food is being served. Here's Chick-fil-A, here's Cane's, here's coffee places, here's Starbucks is over here across the street, all of that, and they're spraying all under here is pesticides. I saw them picking the strawberries, and I also saw little white looking maggot things coming out of the strawberries. They were throwing them on the ground. They pick them and they look at them and they could tell if there's any of those white little wormy things in there or not. And they pluck the worm out and they throw the strawberry on the ground. So they try to catch the worms, but the reason they put all these pesticides like this is to stop the worms and the bugs from eating the strawberries. So let me just put it to you this way. If the worms and the bugs don't want your strawberries, then you shouldn't want them either. Because those pesticides, that's how the, what do you call that orange that they had in Vietnam? That's the same stuff they were spraying on the Vietnamese that gave them all that cancer. They're dying from that, those guys that were in Vietnam. Agent Orange, or whatever it was. It's the same stuff that's in this Roundup stuff. That's why I'm doing this. Did you know that? No, you didn't. Did you know that this stuff's going into your water, into your food, and every time the wind blows, your kid over here at the school is going to be getting Roundup in the face right here? There's the playground right across the street from all these cars, exhaust and fumes. It's not good planning, Santa Maria. You need to start over. And even if you had to admit that you made a mistake and you need to start over, it would be much more admirable than what you're doing, trying to sweep all these problems under the carpet and continue growing the problem. You have a brand new school over here that you could have built somewhere else, but you chose to build it next to a bunch of housing project over here that you have you have this school, you have these plants growing with all these pesticides, you have all these business establishments where there's cars going in and out of here, and they build a school. And these kids are packed in this playground every day, that all these cars are going up and down this street right here, trying to get into this school right here. And so what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to cause problems and tell you guys that you screwed up. First of all, down at the corner down here, right down here, when you try to get into, Chick-fil-A had a deal with the city of Santa Maria, okay? When you try to get into Chick-fil-A, you can't get in there because of the way they did the road over here. There's a bunch of rocks and stuff and a concrete divider. You know, you don't put plants in the middle of the road and plant a garden. Why don't you save that for the side of the road so that people can actually drive on the road? But you could tell that these people don't have any experience in what they're doing. So Betty Buttcrack's here to let them know that they need to fix this problem. This road, those little roundy things they have over there in Santa Maria right down here, when you go into the residential neighborhoods, which are on this side of the road, because on that side of the road, it's all agriculture, just so you know. And then if you drive a little further down into Guadalupe, you'll start getting oil all over your shoes from the sand, the oils coming out of the sand over there where they filmed that movie, The 10 Commandments, and buried all that stuff under the sand at the beach. Well, the oil is leaking up through the sand at the beach, and it ruins your shoes. People won't go over there. This guy told me about it. And they won't go over there because it's ruining their shoes. Now here you can put the garden and the sidewalk, that's fine. Which, why would you do that anyway? It's a roadway. Why not use this for another lane? It's kind of dumb, right? I mean, this is a pretty busy street right here. And then they got this in the middle of the roadway right here. So this is lame. What plant would want to sit out here in the middle of the road in a bunch of trees in the middle of the road across the street from a school? All these rocks they put in here with concrete, and you can't cross the street if there's an emergency because they have these stupid rocks. Okay, Santa Maria, so remove the rocks, all right? Take all this crap out. That's ridiculous. Chick-fil-A is getting ready to pull out their Chick-fil-A store out of your town because they did not agree to have all of this in here. All of these rocks. This is an accident waiting to happen. All of these rocks right here. This whole thing needs to be taken out. This needs to be the roadway, and that is the cemetery. This is the roadway. Get the rocks out of here, all right? So people can actually drive across if they need to. They don't need to be stopped by your rocks because you want to control where their car goes when they're turning here, and you can't even get into Chick-fil-A over there because you got your rocks right here in the middle of the road. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life, man. So would you remove these rocks? Because Chick-fil-A is getting ready to leave this area because these rocks go all the way down to the end down there, all the way to Bed Arabia, and you cannot turn over there. You can't make left, and you can't go from one side of the street to the other. It's lame. Chipotle's over there, Chick-fil-A's over there, Cane's, Popeyes, Home Depot, all that crap is over there, and they got these stupid rocks and this jungle going down the middle of the freeway, the middle of the road here. I mean, so if you need to get across, and these things are concreted in, look at them. They didn't just set them in there. They don't want you taking them. As if that's going to stop anybody. You can just dig right into the dirt down there and get them out. I mean, I could show you right now. I could take one of those out. I could take them all out of there, and they should. See this right here? This black? That's from people running into the damn thing already, right? That's why you shouldn't have that stinking thing there, right? Because they're all running into it, right? Does it look like somebody's running into this thing? Morons? And driving over it? Look at the middle of the street with all these loop-de-loos going around. So whoever put that in there, take it out. And get rid of the vegetable patch over there across the street from the school. The cemetery's fine. That's been there for a long time. But now you got vegetables growing over there, and those effing vegetables over there have pesticides on them, and it's across the street from a school. So who's using their brain around here? Anybody? Look at this. All the way down there. Who would think of that? Wow, what a genius. Let's put concrete and rocks in the middle of the road. So if the fire engines or the police department or an ambulance or anybody needs to get the hell over here, they can't. Unless they go over this. And that is lame. Get this shit out of here. Santa Maria, you are not creative. You're freaking stupid, man. Look at this. Fucking lame. Look at this crap over here. They're all running into it. Look, it's all black. That whole thing over there is all black. This whole thing's been run into. Look at it. And these people all just keep driving up and down by it. I mean, you know, they want to decorate your road. Isn't it lovely? They're so dumb, they don't even know. They're like, what's she doing out there? Sticking up for your brain dead ass. Because if I lived in this town, they wouldn't have got this approved and wouldn't have built it to begin with. Because everybody's running it over. And it's going to cause an accident in front of the school. Leave me a comment, like and subscribe. I love you all. That's why I'm doing this every single day, to bring awareness to my fellow Americans, to my fellow auditors, and people that I love and care about and respect, that have worked hard in this country to make it nice and beautiful. They're expanding the cemetery over here. And you need to keep it the way it was. You don't reinvent the wheel. Caltrans knows that's wrong right there. Call Caltrans and ask them if it's okay to put a garden in the middle of the road. I want that removed. And everybody in Santa Maria should want that removed. They did that to control you. So you can't cross the street all the way down here and back. And that is a hazard. That is a definite hazard. You have to be able to get across the street at any point down the road, and not just where they want you to get across the street, but all the way down the street. From here, all the way down there, if an emergency vehicle needs to get past this crap, it will not get past it. If there's a fire, if your grandma has a heart attack, I mean, this is, and obviously people are running into the damn thing. It was a mistake. So let's get rid of it, all right? Before I get run over. That thing right there, you guys, all of you guys should be in charge of making sure that crap wasn't put there. Instead, you're going to run into it with your trucks. Look at it. And then they got this whole garden going down the side, and they don't have any room. And on the other side of the freeway over there is nothing but pesticides and vegetables. And they got the school right here in the middle of it all. And pesticide right here. There's pesticide over here. There's pesticide over there. And there's your school. Pesticides over there. And all over here. So what do I got to tell you guys? Everything? Everything? What do they need the sidewalk for? Why the sidewalk? When they got a bike lane over here. See this? You can't park anywhere along here because they got a bike lane. People need to park their car when they need to park. You don't go up and down the street putting no parking on College Avenue, College Drive, where people need to park if they have an emergency, or they need to get across the street if they have an emergency. But could they do that here? No. Could they park over here? No. Why? Because they got a bike lane. You see anybody riding any bikes around here? They got a bike lane and they got a sidewalk. And the reason you can't park here is because they have a bike lane here. They're so smart, aren't they? They're so damn intelligent. They all have cars. There's 50 million cars in this town. Look at them all. They're driving all over the freeway, all over Hell and Handbasket and back. And they can't park anywhere. And neither can I. I just got done paying $400 in parking tickets because of crap like this. Bike lane, my ass. Get rid of that. You can ride your bike over there on the sidewalk and let people park here if they need to. Move the trees and all this garbage off the side of the road and make parking for the people to come in here and go to the cemetery. All right? You don't put a garden on the side of the road and then no parking. I mean, that takes a real brainless mother effer, doesn't it? And I paid $400 in tickets so they can plant succulents on the side of the road. But you can't park there. You know, screw your succulents. Anybody can come over here and take these plants, by the way, because they're on public property and they belong to us. So that was dumb. They just bought you guys all a bunch of plants. So in the middle of the night, if you want some succulents or some plants, because these are all going to die, because you know the government's not going to take care of them. Caltrans is not going to take care of them. They're not going to water them. They paid for them all, and they're going to die as soon as we have a heat stroke, a heat wave out here. So come out here and get your plants and your, whatever you call this stuff right here. It's all yours. You paid for it. You paid for all of this. You paid for all those rocks. You paid for all these decorations. All of this crap right here, you paid for it. You paid for every single one of these rocks. And if you think I'm not upset about this, let me tell you I am. I've already talked to the people over there at Chick-fil-A that are totally furious with the county of Santa Barbara, with the city of Santa Maria for putting this in here and screwing up the whole street. They weren't supposed to put this in here. Nobody can get to the restaurants up there. In order to get to one of those restaurants on that side of the street over there, you have to come down here from all the way down on Betaravia and turn here, right past these rocks. If you can see them and not run into them, you can, you know. If you want to go down to this side of the restaurant, on this side of the street, then you got to go all the way down there. You got to pass all these rocks right here to cross across. They're trying to control you. It's ridiculous, man. All of this. So Santa Maria, tell them to get that out. Out! That's bullcrap right there. Out. All of this right here, out. All of it. The second thing is, Betty Buttcrack's going to help you with your town. I don't live here. I'm trying to help you with your town and your schools and your kids, okay? This is not healthy for your kids having those pesticides across the street. And neither is it healthy for any of these people that live here. They have them over there on the other side of the freeway, and that's enough. Over here, you paid for all these rocks. The reason they put these rocks on here is because they don't want you to be able to cross the street or make a turn where you want to make a turn. So by putting all this right here, they're forcing you to go down to the end of the light to make your turn. And over here, they're forcing you to go down to the end of Betaravia to make your turns. They're control freaks. I'm telling you right now, anybody that would do that is a control freak. And they're putting these rocks down here that every car and every truck that's going down, up and down this road right here, run into, because you can't make a turn. You can't cross the street. You can't do anything. They want to control everything. And they got the school. If you have an emergency over here and somebody needs to get into that school right there, you're not getting in there. I'm telling you right now, this crap right here is in the way. And it goes all the way down to the end, to the corner. I mean, who thought of this? They're fired. Who thought of it? This is ridiculous, man. You think you can cross the street right here? We've never had this kind of crap in America. Get this out of here. Bad planning, bad idea. It's the ambulances, and we have an emergency at the school over here. If I get run over, they're not going to be able to get into the school because you got this crap in the way. All right? If you want to get ambulances and fire trucks and stuff in here, hello, principal, superintendent of the school, genius that wants to arrest grandmothers, how about having a look at this? When they can't get to the school, when your kid gets candy, fentanyl in their candy, and they can't get across the road to save your kid because they got rocks in a freaking jungle in the middle of the road. So they don't get over there and your kid dies because they got to go around the rocks. I mean, use your brain, man. How stupid can you be? The other part of the situation we have here is that the turn signal lights they have on every single light in this whole town. You look down there. You're going to be sitting at the red light. You like the rocks? Beautiful rocks, aren't they? How do you like the rocks? Nice, aren't they? How about if your kid has an emergency over here at the school and the ambulance can't get through over there to save them?
Why is that?
Because look at this. How are they going to get through here? Look at everybody hitting it. It's all black. Look. So they got this whole thing right here. And then down here at the corner, at the lights down here, they have red arrows on every single light. Every light. Totally unnecessary. They don't need it. And they have them on every one. So you guys, you need to go to your county, go to your government, go to the city and tell them to get rid of those turn signal lights on the lights. Those people are sitting there wasting their gas. You don't need those turn signals. Okay? You, the people, have the power to take those turn signals, those red lights, down. And the lights are lasting way too long. You're turning the light red, turning the light green for a freaking shopping center, and leaving the people on the main road stuck for a good minute with all these red lights. With gas at $7 a gallon. Biden, you're fired. Look at this mess, man. What are you doing? Smoking crack? They got vegetables. Why? Because your kids are all grown and you don't care if they have freaking pesticides in their vegetables. You don't care if they get cancer when they're 5 years old, or when they're 16 if they run over a bunch of rocks on the road while they're trying to get to the school over here to save your kid? Hell no. These people around here, they are not informed on the law. This is your town, Santa Maria. You build your town, and you tell them to get these rocks out of the middle of your street and the garden out of the middle of your street so that the ambulance and the fire trucks can get to the school when there's an emergency, because with these rocks in the middle of the road, they cannot get over there. So, Mayor, what's your name? The blonde lady? You're fired, man. I got to come out here and show you all of this. We need a new mayor. I got to come out here and tell you that right across the street from the school over there are pesticides. Those things over there are full of Roundup and pesticides that give cancer to your kids. Right over there. Right across the street from the school. All right? Right there. There's the school. You see anybody around here caring about any of this? Think anybody can get past here if there's an emergency? The parents can't even drop off their kids without running into this. This piece of crap right here that goes all the way down to Bed Arabia. Who built it? Whoever built it needs to come and take it out. Take it all out. All of these rocks. And Chick-fil-A is going to move out if you don't do it. And every parent in that school should be protesting right here on this corner, just like Betty Buttcrack, about all those vegetables being grown across the street. They just cleared out that field and they're growing vegetables across the street from your kid's school with pesticides. Anytime the wind blows over there, your kids are in the schoolyard over there blowing Roundup, pesticides. All right? Over here, the ambulance or the emergency services tries to get in there. Sorry, you'll have to go around the rock garden that they built in the middle of the road. And right here, you can't park. You can't park because there's a bike lane here. There's a bike lane here. But right here, as you can see, they planted a big garden. So, you can't park, but there's space right here. A whole space for parking for the people. But they're so into themselves, self-absorbed with their own ideas, that they turn this whole parking lane right here that the people need for the school, for emergency vehicles, for all kinds of stuff. The fire department, ambulances, police. If they have an attack over at this school, there's no parking. I mean, they'll all be out in the middle of the second lane right here, or that one over there. And they won't be able to get across there, so they'll have to park on either side. What, are they going to learn the hard way? I mean, is this a school where you educate people, or is this a school where you make sure to take the brain out and throw it over here into the strawberry patch? Shandula.